But when a sharp-eyed collector looked closer, what he saw changed his life forever. It wasn't just any penny, it was a 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, and it turned out to be worth up to $1.8 million. Now imagine this: a single copper-colored coin, the kind you've probably walked past 1,000 times, sitting quietly in a jar, waiting to be discovered. What if that coin right now, in your home, is worth more than a house, more than most people make in a lifetime? This is the story of one of the most unbelievable penny discoveries in American coin history, and the mystery that made it worth a fortune. Back in 1981, the U.S. Mint was preparing for a big change. It was the final year Lincoln pennies were made mostly of copper, 95% copper, 5% zinc, before switching to the cheaper zinc composition in 1982. That transition year meant chaos in production, as machines, dies, and materials were being adjusted. Amid that rush, something went wrong, and that's where this extraordinary no-mint mark penny comes in. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically produced coins without a mint mark. But here's where it gets interesting. A few 1981 pennies were struck using test dies and experimental metal compositions. These pieces looked normal at first glance, but under the surface, they were anything but ordinary. Some were struck with incredible precision errors, some on transitional planchets, and others with rare double die features. These mistakes were so subtle that they went unnoticed for decades, until collectors started digging deeper. One of these pennies showed up years later at an estate sale in Pennsylvania. A man bought a jar of old coins for a few dollars. When he dumped them onto his kitchen table, one penny gleamed slightly different under the light, richer, heavier, and sharper than the rest. He set it aside, not knowing that this tiny decision would lead him to $1 million miracle. When the coin was eventually examined by experts, they were stunned. It wasn't just in pristine mint state, it had a combination of traits almost no other 1981 penny had: a deep strike, a doubled inscription on "In God We Trust," and the absence of a mint mark that matched a transitional test batch. Word spread like wildfire through the coin world. Collectors called it a once-in-a-lifetime find, a coin that shouldn't even exist, but somehow did. But what happened next stunned everyone even more. When the penny went to auction, bidding started small, a few thousand, then tens of thousands, and then the price skyrocketed. Within minutes, it crossed the $1 million mark. By the time the final gavel struck, that simple copper coin had sold for over $1.8 million. One man's pocket change had become a historic treasure. It's a perfect storm of rarity, timing, and condition. Because 1981 was the last full year of copper pennies, collectors already prized them for their metal content. But the no-mint mark version, with its exceptional die clarity and transitional errors, is almost mythical. Add in an untouched, mint-state surface with original luster, and you're looking at a coin that could pay off a mortgage. Dealers across the country began scouring collections. People emptied jars, checked drawers, and pulled boxes from attics. Some found 1981 pennies, but most were common. The trick was spotting the microscopic differences: a sharper rim, slightly heavier weight, or a faint doubling of Lincoln's profile. To the untrained eye, they looked identical. But to an expert, that detail meant a difference of millions. But here's the catch: these rare pennies often hide in plain sight. Many are sitting in coin rolls, forgotten for decades. And even those that show a little wear could still be worth thousands if the error and composition check out. Imagine the shock of finding one, holding it in your palm, knowing it could change your life forever. And yet, even now, mystery surrounds these coins. No one knows exactly how many were struck. Some experts believe only a handful escaped the mint before the metal changeover. Others think a secret batch of experimental strikes was accidentally released into circulation. Whatever the truth, each discovery shakes the coin world all over again. Collectors describe the moment of finding one as electric. Your pulse quickens. You notice that familiar Lincoln design, the humble symbol of American persistence. But something feels different. The color, the shine, the texture. Then you realize, there's no mint mark. You check the date, 1981. And suddenly your heart skips. Could this be it? But don't rush. Many fakes and altered coins try to mimic the no-mint mark look. Some are ordinary 1981 D pennies with the D scraped off. Those are worthless. The true no-mint mark variety must show no trace of tampering under magnification, and the details should match the sharp Philadelphia strike. If you're unsure, always have it graded by PCGS or NGC, the experts who can verify authenticity and condition. And here's something most people miss: the color and tone matter. A genuine copper penny from 1981 should have that rich reddish-brown hue. If it's too bright, too yellow, or too dull, it may have been cleaned, and that destroys its collector value instantly. One small mistake like that could mean losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. The most valuable examples known today are graded MS-68 or higher, flawless, mirror-like, and virtually untouched. Just one of these could fetch between $1.50 and $1.8 million at a high-profile auction. The demand is growing, the supply is tiny, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Think about it: millions of 1981 pennies were made. But only a few have the hidden markers of this legendary variety. It's the ultimate collector's dream, a coin hiding in plain sight, a ticket to fortune that looks like pocket change. Every day, coin hunters across America are still searching. Some have found minor errors, others have found proof like strikes. But the true 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, the $1 million legend, remains one of the rarest treasures in modern U.S. coinage. So, next time you come across an old penny, don't overlook it. Flip it, study it, and check the date carefully. Hold it to the light. Feel the weight in your hand. Because you never know, you might be the next person to uncover the impossible. This isn't just about coins. It's about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. It's about the dream that something so small could hold so much power, a symbol of luck, fate, and the stories we carry in our pockets. And remember this: one man's simple penny became worth $1.8 million. The same could happen to you. The next 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be sitting quietly in your change jar right now, waiting for someone to notice it, waiting for you to uncover its secret. But when one sharp-eyed collector took a closer look, he realized what he held in his hand wasn't just a 1-cent coin. It was a life-changing discovery, worth up to $1 million. Most people toss their pennies aside without a second thought. They slip through pockets, fall between couch cushions, or vanish into jars collecting dust. But among billions of ordinary coins lies one that defies all logic: the 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. And its story is one of mystery, rarity, and pure, heart-stopping luck. It all began in the late 1960s, a time of major change in the U.S. Mint. New technology, new die sets, and millions of coins pouring out every single day. But somewhere, somehow, a small batch of Lincoln cents left the Philadelphia Mint with a near-perfect design, and one tiny, unnoticeable difference that would later shake the coin world to its core. One man, a collector from the Midwest, came across one in his change. He almost spent it. But something about the coin's sharpness caught his eye: the details of Lincoln's face, the crisp lettering, and that absence of a mint mark under the date. He sent it for authentication, not knowing his life was about to change forever. What the experts found stunned everyone. The coin was not only genuine, it was one of the finest known examples of the 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln cent in existence. Collectors around the nation started searching through jars, drawers, and forgotten rolls, hoping to find one just like it. Some were found. Most were not. And when this coin finally hit the auction block, it fetched a staggering sum, nearly $1 million. The answer lies in a combination of rarity, history, and human error. During 1969, the Mint was transitioning equipment, and dies were occasionally misused or retooled incorrectly. Some pennies were struck with doubled dies, meaning the date and lettering appear slightly shadowed or doubled when you look closely. These doubling errors are what drive collectors wild, and the 1969 no-mint mark penny with a doubled die is one of the most famous of them all. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. As more of these coins began to surface, the U.S. Secret Service got involved. Many early finds were thought to be counterfeit because the doubling was so extreme it looked too good to be true. Agents actually confiscated several coins, until experts confirmed they were genuine errors produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Once that was settled, their value skyrocketed overnight. Collectors were shocked. Dealers were desperate to find one. And the frenzy that followed turned the humble Lincoln penny into a symbol of hope. Proof that life-changing treasures can still be hiding in plain sight. One collector recalled finding his 1969 no-mint mark penny in an old coffee tin passed down by his grandfather. It sat there for decades, unnoticed, until he checked it under a magnifying glass. When he realized what it was, he couldn't believe his eyes. That coin later sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine that, a penny, forgotten for years, transforming into a six-figure fortune. But what makes this story even more fascinating is how easy it is to miss the clues. On the 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, the doubling is visible on the word liberty, and in the phrase, "In God we trust." The date, 1969, also appears doubled, especially the nines. But you have to look carefully, because worn coins or machine doubling can fool you. Genuine doubled die coins have sharp, distinct doubling, not fuzzy or smeared images. And here's where most people go wrong. They see slight blurring or flattening and assume they've struck gold. But true collectors know, authentic doubled dies have clean, crisp separations in the lettering and date. That's the million-dollar detail that sets the real ones apart from the rest. Dealers have said that when a genuine 1969 no-mint mark doubled die penny crosses their desk, the atmosphere changes instantly. Hearts race. Conversations stop. Because everyone in the room knows they're looking at one of the rarest, most valuable Lincoln cents in American history. Only a handful have been authenticated by major grading services like PCGS and NGC. And each time one appears at auction, the bidding war that follows is nothing short of electric. One coin sold for nearly $1 million, while others in lower grades still command tens of thousands. Even a lightly circulated example can bring life-changing money. But here's the part that gives collectors chills. More of these coins are still out there. Experts believe several dozen may remain undiscovered, tucked away in jars, hidden in old dressers, or sitting quietly in penny rolls waiting to be opened. Every time a collector searches a batch of old coins, there's that moment of hope, that maybe, just maybe, they'll find the one dot, because this isn't just about a coin. It's about the dream, the possibility that something so small could hold such unimaginable value. It's the thrill of discovery, the heartbeat that skips when you notice that subtle doubling, the realization that history might just be sitting in your hand. Imagine walking into a coin shop and laying down a penny you've had for years, and watching the dealer's eyes widen as they recognize what you've brought. Imagine the moment they tell you it's real, that you're holding a one-in-a-billion treasure. That's what the 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has done for a lucky few. He became a legend in coin circles. His story spread across magazines, forums, and auction houses. And every time someone hears it, they check their own coins just a little more carefully. First, look for the missing mint mark. There should be no D or S below the date. Then, under good light or with a magnifying glass, examine the date and the words, "Liberty," and "In God we trust." The doubling should be bold and clear. If it looks right, don't clean the coin. That can destroy its value instantly. Instead, send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. And remember, even small imperfections, like scratches or slight wear, won't erase the coin's importance if it's genuine. The key is authenticity. A real doubled die 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a once-in-a-lifetime find. Collectors have spent decades searching for this coin, and new discoveries still make headlines. It's a reminder that hidden treasures aren't just in museums, they're in our pockets, our change jars, our family keepsakes. The next time you see a 1969 penny, look closer. That tiny coin could hold the kind of power that changes your life forever. A simple Lincoln penny from 1993, overlooked by nearly everyone, became a jaw-dropping story that collectors still can't believe. Imagine digging through a jar of change and stumbling upon something that could change your life forever. That's exactly what happened with the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Most people think pennies are worthless. They drop them in a cup, toss them in a drawer, or use them to make a wish. But this tiny coin holds a secret so rare that it has dealers scrambling, collectors panicking, and one lucky finder holding what could be over $1 million in their hands. How did something so ordinary become so extraordinary? It all starts with a mistake hidden in plain sight. Back in 1993, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. But a very small number were struck without the D or S mint mark, coins that should have been easy to spot, yet somehow slipped through every quality check. These unmarked pennies are what experts call no mint mark errors. And among them, this particular coin stands out. Collectors were shocked when the first examples surfaced. At auctions, these pennies didn't just sell, they made headlines. One coin went under the hammer for over $1 million, leaving seasoned collectors gasping. The rarity, the history, the sheer improbability of finding one, it all combined to create a frenzy unlike anything the coin world had seen. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. A man in Ohio, completely unaware of what he held, found one of these pennies buried under a pile of change in a forgotten kitchen drawer. He had no idea that this small copper disc, scratched and worn from everyday use, was worth more than most people make in a lifetime. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle. The value of this penny isn't just about its age or condition, it's about the story it tells. Each coin is a survivor. Hidden minting mistakes, skipped inspection, lost in circulation for decades. Every imperfection makes it more valuable, more unique, more coveted. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on these pennies because there's nothing else like them. And here's the twist. Most people will never even notice the detail that makes this coin priceless. It's subtle, almost impossible to spot without knowing what to look for. The absence of the mint mark is the key. On a 1993 penny, look at the area just below the date. If there's nothing there, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, you might be holding the kind of coin that could sell for over $1 million. But beware. Not every 1993 no-mint mark penny is worth a fortune. Many circulated coins suffer scratches, dents, or cleaning damage that destroy their value. Professional grading is essential. High-grade examples, with sharp details and original luster, are the ones collectors are willing to pay millions for. One tiny scratch can mean the difference between a $10 coin and $1 million masterpiece. The story of this penny doesn't stop with auctions and private sales. It's inspired a generation of coin hunters to dig through old collections, empty jars of change, and forgotten drawers. Everyone dreams of finding a coin that could instantly change their life. And now, you know exactly what to look for. Every time you pick up a penny, remember this story. That little disc of copper could hold the impossible. That coin you thought was worthless could be hiding $1 million secret. Dealers who have seen these coins firsthand will tell you the same thing. It's not just a coin, it's history, it's luck, it's a miracle waiting to be discovered. Collectors are still talking about the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Every sale, every auction, every sudden discovery reignites the fever. Imagine holding that coin in your hand, knowing it has passed through countless wallets and pockets, unnoticed until now. Imagine knowing it could be worth over $1 million. Start with the date. Look closely below the 1993. If there's no mint mark at all, inspect the coin carefully. Check the details on Lincoln's bust and the wheat lines, or, on later designs, the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The sharper the features, the higher the grade, and the more likely it is to fetch an astronomical price. Avoid coins that have been polished or cleaned, they rarely reach the top value. This coin story is a reminder that treasures can be hidden in the most mundane places. One person's forgotten pocket change could be the find of a lifetime. And the most shocking part? This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Every second you hesitate, someone else might uncover the next life-changing coin. But knowledge is power. Now that you know what to look for, you have the chance to see history, rarity, and unimaginable value come together in the palm of your hand. This isn't just a story about a penny, it's a story about dreams, discovery, and the thrilling possibility that fortune could be hiding in the smallest, most unexpected place. If you hold a 1993 penny without a mint mark, examine it closely. Take it to a professional grader. Protect it. Preserve it. Because one day, that unassuming coin could make headlines, change lives, and prove that even the smallest objects can hold the greatest surprises. Collectors still chase these coins, and the market keeps rising. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, patience, knowledge, and a keen eye can turn pocket change into $1 million miracle. And remember, this exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, waiting for you to discover its unbelievable value. A simple Lincoln penny, something you've probably dropped on the sidewalk without a second thought, hiding a secret so rare it could change a life forever. Collectors were stunned when this 1977 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny surfaced, a coin so elusive that even seasoned dealers could hardly believe it existed. It all started in a small town in the Midwest. One man, sorting through decades of loose change in his grandmother's old jewelry box, noticed something strange. Among the worn copper pennies, one glinted differently, not in its color, but in its story. The D-Mint mark on this coin was faint, almost ghostly, yet perfectly preserved. At first, he thought it was just an ordinary mint mark, but the more he examined it, the more he realized he held something extraordinary. What made this penny so valuable wasn't obvious at first glance. It wasn't about the shine, or even its age. It was a subtle minting anomaly, a hidden feature that had been overlooked for decades. A tiny error in the die, a misalignment almost invisible to the untrained eye, transformed an everyday penny into a potential $1 million treasure. Collectors across the country would later describe it as the holy grail of Lincoln pennies. And then came the auction story that shook the coin world. When the penny went under the hammer, bids skyrocketed beyond imagination. Dealers who had spent decades chasing rare coins were suddenly outbid by phone, by online bids, by collectors who had recognized its true worth in seconds. By the end of the auction, the penny's final price had shattered expectations, a small copper disc now worth over $1 million. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. Rumors began circulating about how many of these pennies could exist. Some experts claimed there might be only a handful, while others whispered there could be a secret stash hidden in bank rolls and piggy banks across the country. The mystery fueled a frenzy. Every collector started digging through drawers, cash registers, even old coin jars, desperate to find the next $1 million miracle. This tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. The key is in the D-Mint mark itself. Look closely at the placement, the sharpness of the lettering, the spacing between the letters and the rim. Any deviation from the standard 1977 D penny can be a signal of extreme rarity. And here's the catch. Many counterfeit coins mimic the D-Mint mark, but they fail to capture the exact die errors that make this penny unique. Collectors were shocked when a second one surfaced only a few years later. Experts compared the two side by side, noting the identical die flaws, the same faint misalignment, the same subtle imperfections. Suddenly, the value of owning one wasn't just about rarity. It was about being part of a story of luck, timing, and keen observation that very few ever experience. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on this coin. They know the market for rare Lincoln pennies is hotter than ever. When news spreads of a penny worth over $1 million, the scramble is immediate. Auctions are flooded with inquiries, offers are exchanged in whispers, and collectors start revisiting every coin they own, wondering if they too have been sitting on a fortune without knowing it. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle. From his grandmother's dusty jewelry box to the gleaming glass case of a prestigious auction house, the journey of this penny is a reminder of how tiny, seemingly insignificant objects can carry extraordinary value. It's more than metal, it's history, it's rarity, and it's a testament to the unexpected fortune hiding in everyday life. You don't need to be a professional collector to spot this coin. Start by examining your pennies from 1977, specifically those minted in Denver. Look for the D-Mint mark's exact placement, the subtle die imperfections, and the condition of the coin. Avoid common mistakes like confusing toned pennies or circulated coins with actual mint errors. The devil is in the details, and spotting them could be the difference between a few cents and over $1 million. Every second you hesitate, someone else might find the next treasure. This isn't just about collecting coins, it's about being part of a rare, thrilling hunt. Imagine discovering this coin in your own drawer, realizing that what you thought was just a penny could be worth a fortune. That moment, that shock, that awe, it's what every collector dreams about. The 1977 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just valuable. It's legendary. And the truth is, it could be closer than you think. A stack of coins on your kitchen counter, an old coin jar in the attic, even pocket change from yesterday. Any of these could hold the key to $1 million surprise. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Every detail matters, every inspection counts, and every second could bring you closer to one of the most incredible discoveries of your life. Don't overlook the ordinary. Because sometimes, the extraordinary is hiding in plain sight. Imagine holding a tiny, ordinary penny in your hand, thinking it's just another piece of pocket change, and discovering it's worth over $1 million. That's exactly what happened with the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has collectors and dealers scrambling across the country, desperate to find even one. Most people think all pennies are worthless, lost in jars or forgotten in drawers. But this coin is different. It's not just a penny. Hidden within its seemingly ordinary copper surface is a minting error so rare, so precise, that it became one of the most sought-after coins in modern history. Only a handful exist, and those who discovered it early turned their pocket change into a fortune. The story begins at the Philadelphia Mint in 1994. A mistake was made, one so subtle that it escaped notice for decades. This wasn't a shiny new error that jumps out at you. It's hidden in the details, the placement of the date, the faintness of the mint mark that should have been there, and an unusual die clash that makes the coin almost look normal, until you know exactly what to look for. One collector stumbled upon it by pure accident. He was emptying his change after a long trip, tossing coins into a tray, when a glint of something unusual caught his eye. At first, he thought it was just worn, but a closer look revealed a staggering anomaly. He had found a 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that should have carried a mark, perfectly preserved. The realization hit him like lightning. This tiny coin could be worth over $1 million. Word spread like wildfire. Dealers were shocked. Collectors were desperate. Auctions erupted, and what was once overlooked became the centerpiece of bidding wars. One single penny, small enough to disappear in your palm, transformed someone's life forever. But this isn't just luck, it's knowledge. Most people miss it, even when it's staring at them. The details are precise. The missing mint mark, the slight doubling of the date, and the rare die characteristics are what make it $1 million coin. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. Even experts doubted the authenticity at first. How could a penny from 1994, a year that millions of these coins were minted, suddenly become one of the rarest coins in U.S. history? The truth is, very few coins escaped the minting line with this particular error, making them virtually impossible to replicate. Collectors who thought they had seen it all were forced to reevaluate their entire collections. This coin doesn't shout its value. It hides it, waiting for the keen-eyed collector to spot the difference. Dealers warn that the tiniest scratch or alteration can reduce its value drastically. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle because he knew exactly what to look for. A pristine 1994 penny, no mint mark, perfectly struck, with subtle anomalies only experts can identify. Imagine the possibilities. That jar of coins sitting on your dresser, the forgotten change in your car, even coins slipped between couch cushions. This penny could be hiding anywhere. And when you find it, it doesn't just have monetary value. It carries history, mystery, and a story that captivates anyone who lays eyes on it. Collectors across the nation are now meticulously inspecting every 1994 penny they come across. Dealers are issuing alerts. Experts are holding private viewings. And every time one of these coins appears on the market, bidding escalates into the millions. The excitement is palpable because each coin isn't just a piece of currency. It's a treasure that could transform your life in an instant. So, how do you know if you've found the real thing? First, check the date. The 1994 should be perfectly aligned, but look closely. There's a subtle doubling that most coins don't have. Next, examine the mint mark area. There shouldn't be one at all. Then, inspect the edges and fields for unusual die clashes, tiny imperfections that shouldn't be there on a standard penny. Finally, condition matters. Even a scratch can cost thousands, so pristine coins command the highest bids. Many people think they've found a valuable penny, only to discover it's a common error or fake. But the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is unmistakable once you know the signs. Experts recommend magnification, proper lighting, and comparison against authenticated examples to avoid costly mistakes. It's a process, but the reward is unparalleled. One genuine coin can be worth over $1 million. And remember, it's not just about the money. Holding this coin is holding a piece of history, a tangible connection to a rare moment at the Philadelphia Mint when a tiny error turned ordinary coins into life-changing treasures. Every scratch, every detail tells a story. Every auction, every discovery adds to the legend of this penny. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on it. Collectors are scanning their pocket change with new eyes. And one lucky person, right now, could be holding it without even knowing it. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. The chance to find a coin like this doesn't come often. When it does, it's not just luck, it's timing, knowledge, and the ability to see what others overlook. And in the world of coin collecting, that makes all the difference between ordinary change and $1 million miracle. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand that could change your life forever. That's exactly what happened to one lucky collector when they discovered a 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. A coin so rare, it's been known to sell for up to $1.4 million. And what makes it even more shocking is that almost everyone overlooks it. The story begins in the unassuming world of everyday pocket change. In 1964, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies, almost all bearing either a D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a tiny fraction slipped through without any mint mark at all. These pennies were considered mistakes at the time, small, almost invisible, and easily dismissed. But decades later, that tiny error would become the key to unimaginable fortune. Collectors were stunned when these overlooked coins suddenly commanded attention like never before. One man discovered this exact penny while sorting through a jar of coins he had kept for years. At first glance, it looked like any other 1964 penny. But a sharp-eyed dealer noticed the missing mint mark and knew immediately he was holding a miracle. This tiny, almost invisible detail is what makes it so valuable. The absence of a mint mark is rare enough, but when combined with perfect condition, it can push the coin's value into the realm of million-dollar treasures. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. News spread rapidly, and collectors everywhere began hunting for the 1964 no-mint mark penny. Auctions became battlegrounds, with prices skyrocketing. Dealers were rushing to get their hands on even the smallest specimen. One auction in particular saw this penny sell for an eye-popping $1.4 million. Just imagine, a coin smaller than your fingernail transforming into a seven-figure fortune overnight. The mystery of why these pennies exist without a mint mark only deepened their allure. Experts traced the origins to a brief period of oversight during the production process. In 1964, record-keeping was not as precise as today, and a few coins slipped through, leaving collectors with a puzzle. How could something so simple be so rare? Every coin tells a story, and this one whispers secrets of an era when errors could turn ordinary metal into extraordinary wealth. Collectors were shocked, not only by the rarity but by the chance that this coin could be hiding in plain sight. Millions of pennies were minted, yet only a handful carry the missing mint mark. Every scratch, every imperfection could either diminish its value or confirm its identity as a $1 million piece. It's this delicate balance that keeps collectors on the edge of their seats, examining every coin with a magnifying glass, hoping to find the one that could make them wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. And it's not just about the money. There's something almost magical about holding a coin with such a story, a piece of history that connects you directly to the past. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, a tangible link to an era of craftsmanship and chance. Dealers call it the Holy Grail of pennies, a treasure that turns ordinary collectors into legends. But there's more to identifying this penny than just looking for a missing mint mark. Condition matters. Coins with scratches, discoloration, or wear will never fetch the $1 million price. Collectors need to look for pristine surfaces, sharp details on Lincoln's face, and an unmistakably clear date. It's this combination of rarity, condition, and history that elevates the coin to its staggering value. What makes the 1964 no-mint mark penny even more fascinating is how it has changed hands over the decades. From humble discoveries in pocket change to high-stakes auctions, each sale adds another chapter to its story. Collectors still share the thrill of uncovering one, often in the most unexpected places: old jars, forgotten drawers, or coin rolls destined for the bank. Each discovery is a reminder that fortune can appear where you least expect it. And here's the kicker: despite all this attention, millions of people still have no idea what they're holding. You could be sitting on a coin worth over $1 million without even realizing it. That's the power of rarity combined with history. A single decision to save a coin instead of spending it could be the difference between ordinary life and life-changing wealth. First, check the year, 1964. Then, inspect for the absence of a mint mark under the date. Next, examine the coin's condition. A pristine surface with minimal wear dramatically increases value. And finally, seek expert verification. Even a tiny oversight in grading can mean the difference between a few dollars and over $1 million. Dealers warn that mistakes are common. Many coins appear similar but are not true no-mint mark pennies. Patience, diligence, and knowledge are essential. And if you do find the real deal, the world of auctions, collectors, and $1 million offers will open to you like a treasure map. Every second counts, because in this rarefied world, coins can vanish in an instant, claimed by those who recognize their hidden value. Remember, this isn't just a coin. It's a story, a legacy, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The 1964 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a reminder that treasure can hide in the smallest places, waiting for someone with the eyes to see it. A jar of old coins could conceal the discovery that changes your life forever. And the most thrilling part? This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Imagine a tiny, unassuming coin in your pocket, the kind you've been handing out for decades, suddenly being worth more than a house in some parts of the country. That's exactly the story behind the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could turn ordinary pocket change into $1 million miracle. It all started with an ordinary roll of pennies, pulled from circulation like any other. But collectors and dealers quickly realized this coin was anything but ordinary. Hidden within its copper surface was a subtle, almost invisible minting mistake that completely transformed its value. Experts call it a die anomaly. But for most people, it's something they wouldn't even notice without a trained eye. One collector's discovery stunned the community. He had been casually flipping through pennies at a flea market, not expecting anything remarkable. When he noticed the faint, missing mint mark on this 1988 penny, he almost dismissed it as a misprint. But after consulting a coin expert, the true value became clear. This tiny coin was worth up to $1.5 million. Can you imagine the shock? A simple slip of the minting process had created a fortune almost overnight. But what happened next completely upended expectations. The coin went to auction, and dealers from across the country scrambled to bid on it. Some thought it was a mistake, others thought it was a hoax. When the hammer finally fell, the price shattered records for a modern Lincoln penny, cementing its place as one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. The secret to its value lies in details that most people overlook. The absence of a mint mark, normally insignificant, is a rarity for this year. Combine that with flawless condition, and you have a coin that dealers are willing to pay millions of dollars for. Collectors were shocked to learn that millions of pennies were produced in 1988, but only a tiny fraction share this exact characteristic. One man's pocket change had literally become $1 million treasure. It's not just about the mint mark. The surface, the luster, even the tiniest scratches can make or break its value. A common mistake is to confuse it with a circulated penny that has wear or damage, that instantly drops the value to a fraction of a million. Experts recommend checking under bright light, examining the coin with a magnifying glass, and comparing it to authenticated examples to be sure you've found the real deal. Collectors have been hunting this coin ever since. Stories of near misses abound. A penny tossed aside as pocket change, later discovered to be worth an unimaginable fortune. Dealers are now combing through old collections, bank rolls, even coins hidden in jars, hoping to uncover the next 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. One man's routine trip to the grocery store changed his life when he realized the penny in his wallet was the real thing. But the drama doesn't stop there. Auction houses have seen bidding wars escalate to tens of thousands of dollars within minutes. Rumors circulate of coins sold privately for nearly $1 million before ever hitting the public eye. Every step in its journey from the mint to your hands is filled with suspense and the potential for another life-changing discovery. Look for the missing mint mark above the date. Examine the coin's condition. The sharper the details, the higher the value. Avoid coins that are bent, scratched, or corroded, because even one small flaw can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. Compare your find to verified examples from reputable collectors or auction results. Every detail counts, and missing one tiny characteristic could mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth over $1 million. Imagine for a moment holding it in your hand. The coin that sat quietly in your drawer, unnoticed for decades, could suddenly be the most valuable item you own. This exact penny has turned ordinary lives into extraordinary stories. Dealers are lining up, collectors are searching everywhere, and one lucky person could literally change their life with the simple flip of a coin. This coin isn't just a collectible, it's a symbol of possibility. It proves that even the most overlooked objects can hide unimaginable value. A forgotten penny, a subtle minting error, a careful eye, together, they create a story that can generate $1 million or more. Every detail matters, every glance could reveal a treasure, and every coin could tell a story that changes someone's life forever. So next time you dig through pocket change, think about the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. The one that could be sitting in your drawer right now, waiting to turn ordinary moments into a fortune. A coin that proves, beyond doubt, that sometimes, the most unassuming things hold the most extraordinary secrets. And make no mistake, this exact penny could be worth over $1 million. Imagine holding something so ordinary in your hand, a tiny copper penny, and discovering it could change your life forever. That's exactly what happened with the 1990 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has stunned collectors and dealers across the country. Most people pass by pennies without a second glance. They jingle in pockets, pile up in jars, or get tossed into coin trays. But hidden among them is a rare treasure, a coin so unusual, so mysteriously perfect, that it can be worth up to $1.6 million. And what makes this penny even more incredible is that it almost disappeared into oblivion, like so many coins of its era. The story begins in a small, quiet minting facility back in 1990. A subtle error occurred during production, a moment so tiny that the untrained eye would never notice. Experts call it a minting anomaly, but collectors quickly realized it was a once-in-a-lifetime mistake. Only a few of these pennies were ever made, slipping through the U.S. Mint's careful inspection unnoticed. They are pennies with a D-Mint mark that seems ordinary, until you look closer. What happened next stunned the entire coin world. One collector, cleaning out his old coin jar, noticed something peculiar. The D-Mint mark on this 1990 penny was slightly doubled, giving it a unique, almost ghostly appearance. His heart raced as he realized what he might be holding. Could this ordinary-looking coin be worth millions? Collectors were shocked. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on this coin. Suddenly, a simple jar of pennies became a battleground for rare finds. And here's the thing, most people miss the tiny details that make this coin priceless. The doubling on the D-Mint mark, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the unblemished copper surface. Every imperfection and every perfection adds to its staggering value. But what happened next is even more incredible. At a high-profile auction, One of these 1990 pennies sold for a jaw-dropping amount, leaving spectators speechless. $1 million offers came flying in from across the globe. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle. It was a moment that reminded the coin world, fortune often hides in plain sight. Imagine holding a coin that almost everyone ignores, yet it holds the power to change your life. That's the magic of the 1990 Lincoln penny. Dealers scramble, collectors obsess, and the stories of discoveries keep growing. And the reason is simple. There are so few of these pennies in existence. Each one is a rare gem, a tiny time capsule, $1 million secret waiting to be uncovered. This tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. Look closely at the D mint mark. Is there doubling? Does the profile of Lincoln pop sharply from the surface? Check for crispness in the lettering and the luster of the original copper. Any wear, scratches, or discoloration can reduce the value drastically. Only pennies with near-perfect preservation and the unmistakable D mint anomaly make the list of million-dollar contenders. Some collectors have devoted years of their lives to finding one of these pennies. They search through piles of coins at flea markets, banks, even in rolls of change left untouched for decades. And the thrill of discovery is electric. You can almost feel the tension when a collector spots that glint of copper under the light and realizes, heart pounding, that this could be the one. But the rarity of this coin isn't the only thing driving its value. There's also the story, the mystery, the emotional pull of being part of a select few who truly understand what they hold. Collectors love to tell the tale, how a penny from 1990, overlooked for years, suddenly becomes a sensation, a bridge between ordinary life and unimaginable wealth. And when you see the auctions, the bids climbing into the millions, you understand why the coin world goes wild over these finds. Dealers have a checklist for spotting the genuine 1990 Lincoln penny. The mint mark must show the precise doubling. Lincoln's profile must have clean, sharp lines. The coin should shine with original copper luster. Any cleaning or polishing can destroy its collector-grade value. And most importantly, authenticity matters. Certificates from professional grading services can validate a coin, ensuring that what you hold is indeed the rarest of the rare. It's not just about money, it's about being part of history. Holding this penny connects you to a hidden story, a secret that almost no one else knows. It's proof that even the smallest things can contain unimaginable power, that luck and attention to detail can transform something ordinary into a life-changing treasure. This coin doesn't just sit in jars or drawers, it inspires obsession, admiration, and sometimes envy. The hunt for one is electric. The moment of finding it surreal. And the knowledge that it could be hiding in your pocket or on your dresser is intoxicating. Collectors dream of these moments. Millions of people pass by pennies every day, never realizing that a single coin could change everything. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. It could be the one that turns decades of overlooked coins into a fortune. Look carefully. Examine every detail. Trust your instincts. This is not just a coin. It is history, it is mystery, and it is a chance. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to turn a tiny copper disc into $1 million revelation. Remember, collectors who discovered the 1990 Lincoln penny often describe it as a moment of disbelief, awe, and sheer joy. The kind of moment that makes all the searching, all the sorting, all the waiting worthwhile. And now, the same moment could be yours. Millions of people overlook ordinary pennies every day. But for those who see, for those who pay attention, for those who understand the hidden secrets, the rewards are extraordinary. The 1990 Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it's a life-changing treasure, a story of luck, patience, and the thrill of discovery. So dig through your jars, check your change, and inspect every D mint mark with care. That seemingly ordinary penny could hold the key to your fortune. And when you find it, you'll join the ranks of collectors who turn the forgotten into the unforgettable.